Welcome to the House by the Video Store video blog. I'm William, and with me today is
Derek,
who you may recognize from our podcast if you listen to it. I think this is the first time he's been on video for the site. And in this video blog, we'll be talking about the 1993 film Leprechaun. Everybody seen a Leprechaun say yeah.
yeah.
And if you weren't aware, this was the film that was the first big screen appearance of Jennifer Aniston. And it had Warwick Davis as the titular Leprechaun. And this was a movie that was a horror comedy. I remember seeing the video or the VHS cover of this at the video store when I was young. And I always thought, it's like, how's a movie about a leprechaun scary? And then when I actually saw it, I was like, oh, it's not.
Yeah, I think that was definitely one of the movies that the picture of that looked a lot better.
Well, it was one of those movies. So in like the 80s, you had Critters, and then you had Troll, which was in the 80s. Then you had Troll 2.
Well, this movie's kind of like on the same level as like Troll, is what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
Troll 1, not Troll 2. Troll 2 is just...
It's on its own level.
Yeah, but this is just like the same type of creature thing, and it's not as much magic as Troll 1, but it's still kind of goofy, and I don't know, like the Leprechaun is somewhat enjoyable, and like the Ozzy character is somewhat annoying, in my opinion. Like, I didn't love him very much.
And you have those movies where, I mean, I guess it was pitched as a horror movie, but like, I'd heard Warwick Davis talking about like wanting it to have, he had wanted it to have more comedy in it, which is why they had some of the comedy in it they did. And I could definitely see this being like, if you stepped it down to PG-13 and just aimed it at kids, you probably could have not lost that much stuff in it. I mean, because the Leprechaun, the most ridiculous thing is when he's driving the go-kart, he gets pulled over by the cops.
I kind of enjoyed the tricycle part too, though.
Yeah,
because he rode the tricycle to town fast as they drove a car to town. So I enjoyed that. And the go-kart was pretty ridiculous. And like the most violent death was the shopkeeper, right?
With the pogo stick.
Yeah, with the pogo stick. Because that was like pretty violent, because they took the gold to the town to get the coin looked at, see what was valued. And the shopkeeper's doing his thing, and like the little tricycle rolls into the frame. So he walks over, investigates, and then he opens up his safe, and the leprechaun jumps out of the safe and bites looked like he bit his leg off or his knee or something. Whatever it was, it took him down.
Yeah.
And then he
pogo-sticked him to death in the chest.
And his face got all destroyed too.
Yeah.
So like he had the worst death in the movie compared to just about anybody else, because really there's only what? 2 or 3 deaths?
There's a few. So at the beginning, he kills the old lady.
Yeah.
Then the other guy dies of stroke, so he doesn't kill him.
Well, we find out later that he doesn't die of a stroke because they go to the old folks home.
Yeah, he doesn't die. He just has a stroke. Oh yeah, too late to announce. There's spoilers in this.
Yeah, but it's from '93.
A movie from Leprechaun. A movie called Leprechaun really can't be spoiled that much.
And he also eventually goes to the hood, so it's not like this is your top flight franchise. So.
Yeah, so I think the big thing that comes out of this for most people is one of the first on-screen appearances of Jennifer Aniston. Aside from that, it's one of those movies where it takes place mostly like in the country at like an old house. So there's not a lot of locations.
Well, yeah, there's 3 locations. Well, maybe 4. They didn't really go in the hospital, but they had the house, they had the like coin store, and the diner, which had disgusting food. If you looked at it, like it was terrible.
Yeah, and the one thing too that kind of stuck out to me was that the Leprechaun had the custom made go-kart thing that was able to knock a car over somehow.
Actually, another scene I love from the movie though is the fact that like before he gets the go-kart out, like he rips the shoulder cap out of the car. Or the truck before they leave, and they're trying to lure him away from the truck, so they get a box of shoes out and start throwing shoes at the leprechaun.
Yeah.
And he starts cleaning the shoes like impulsively because he can't help it.
Yeah.
And that's how they distract him enough to get away, to get to the old folks' home to find the original, O'Day? Is that what it was, the family name? I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember the plot of this movie. Like, I saw this movie a long time ago, then I just watched it again recently, because it's on Netflix. If you want to watch it, it's on Netflix Watch Instant, as well as some of the sequels. So I watched part 2 as well, and it's not as good as part 1, which I know that isn't saying a whole lot. But these are movies that it's hard to recommend anybody watch beyond the novelty factor of it's a horror movie called Leprechaun.
Yeah, like if it's, we're getting close to Halloween, so if you're just looking for stuff to watch to get you in the mood for it, or just because you like watching horror, if you have Netflix, it's not bad to watch. Like if you enjoy Troll or Troll 2, then I would say, yeah, go watch Leprechaun.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of one of those movies that's like, it's not good and it's not necessarily funny. It's just out there enough that there is some entertainment value in just the craziness of a little leprechaun killing people and slashing someone's face up with a belt buckle.
Yeah, I forgot about doing that. And he also kind of like, the person that got tortured the most of Leprechaun was the cop.
Yeah.
Because he like chased him in the woods and then he breaks his neck like Sonny Blade did to Kano. And then he just leaves and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like there's not there is some gore. There's more than you would think.
Well, actually, one of the goriest scenes, apart from the face getting destroyed by the pogo stick, is when the dad gets bit by the leprechaun in the tree.
When the leprechaun is in the tree trunk and meows like a cat.
Yeah, which has a horrible scene of like him looking through the tree trunk, and it's just like a cartoon drawing. It almost looks like a Looney Tunes thing. You see the leprechaun's face in it. It's like high production.
One thing I'll say that's kind of funny in like the second one at least is the leprechaun can make his voice be other people's voices, and he makes a guy think. He's somehow able to make a guy hallucinate that there's a girl like taking her top off and stuff, but in reality it's a running lawnmower that's tilted back. So the guy like goes to make out with the girl or like kiss her body, and it's a lawnmower.
Well, he kind of did that.
So the leprechaun's powers change a little bit as to what he can do throughout it, but I guess they explained it away by saying that with his gold he got his power back. So the lesson of this movie was don't be a greedy capitalist who only covets gold.
Because you would die some ridiculous death from a leprechaun. You have a stroke. That's what he had happened to the other guy.
Yeah.
And then he bit somebody's hand, pogoed them, and broke their neck. And
so in summary, this is kind of a ridiculous movie that is only really worth watching for the ridiculous factor of the movie, the ridiculousness, and the fact that it's got Jennifer Aniston's first on-screen appearance when she was rather young.
And there's no Ross Geller in this, so
there is no David Schwimmer.
Yeah, no David Schwimmer. There is a guy. I mean, the other people in the movie weren't that bad. I mean,
the supporting players in it weren't bad, but it also had kind of like the cliche of like a lot of these movies where there's like the mentally challenged adult.
Well, that was like
and the
just
child
a thing for a few years, and it seemed like it kind of
went away.
Yeah, it went away.
Yeah, so I had that, and I had a kid who figured prominently in it, and
a bear trap. Maybe not bear trap, some type of hunting trap.
And then the pretty boy dude that was trying to get with Jennifer Aniston's character.
Except they used the shotgun in somewhat of a smart way. Like,
yeah, but then like they found out that it really didn't do anything to the leprechaun.
Yeah,
and
they shot him multiple times with the shot. He had predator blood though, the green glowing blood.
Yeah, so the leprechaun is dangerous. But I think like I haven't watched all the sequels in a while or parts of them. Then like Leprechaun in the Hood, I've only really seen like bits and pieces of it. But this series is one that exists and that you can watch. But there's probably stuff out there I'd recommend over it if you're looking for something to show friends. So I think that wraps up our discussion of Leprechaun.